Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're day 22 and yeah, I don't look very festive. That's because I don't have an endless amount of Christmas things I can wear, and I think I overdid it a little bit in the beginning of the month. So I don't know, I'm not going to wear the same sweater over and over. I'm just wearing a plain black t-shirt, and if you can see some belly rolls, I'm sorry, I just have them. They're there, can't ignore them. I think we all have them. So if you have something bad to say about them, just leave. Don't comment it. I don't want to know. I know I have them. I know they're there. So let's get on with the video. I already opened my presents because this is actually now the third time I'm trying to film this video, but I wasn't happy with how it turned out the first one. So I deleted all the footage, including the first intro, so that was a big mistake of me. And then my second time, my battery died mid-recording, so it didn't save on the card. So for the third time, we got another bronzer. You should have saw my face when I opened the box. So I was saying, okay, it's not a palette, so maybe we have some lip products because it's something light. I took out the paper. It was a round thing again. So I was saying while I was opening, I do hope it's not another bronzer. I hope it's not another bronzer. And it's another bronzer. So it's a Sculpt Duo, and you have a light shade and a dark shade. And yeah, you can really tell, I think, I'm not super happy with it because we have so much bronzers. Like, I'm never going to run out of bronzers in my life now. So yeah, we have that. I was a little bit disappointed about that, but it's okay. I can live with it. It's not the biggest drama in the world. So today I want to talk to you guys about how I spent Christmas. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I spent it when I was little, how I spend it now, what's the big difference between, and I'm going to try to edit this video as little as possible because I wanted to just be a sit down kind of talking videos, because I have a feeling I do a lot of videos, especially in this month, but they're like planned, and not all of them. Like, I do a lot of videos where I have no idea what I'm going to do, but this month a lot of the videos were planned. So this one is totally out of the blue because I didn't really have an idea of what I want to do for this video. And then I was like, why don't I just sit down in my bed, record, and tell you how I spent my Christmas. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, the big difference between my Christmases when I was little and my Christmas now is that my parents are separated. So my parents are divorced. They've been divorced for a while now, so I think since I was 8 and I'm 20 now, so that's 12 years. So I'm pretty used to it. It's nothing new for me, but that's the big difference between when I was little and with now. Also, really big difference is, as a child I could eat everything, and now I have to eat gluten-free. So that's a challenge the past 2 years, I think, that I know I can't eat gluten. So that's been a challenge for the past 2 years, to find gluten-free options for me to eat. So yeah, let's start when I was a child. So these are all just memories or things that exist in my head, so I'm not entirely sure if everything I'm going to tell you is true, because I don't know, I lost quite a bit of memories, but I think what I remember is like how we used to spend it. So back when I was little, my brother and my mom and dad and I spent Christmas together in our home in Newport, so just a tiny city in Belgium, where we spent our Christmas Eve. And I don't know if we waited until Christmas morning to open presents or that we opened them on Christmas Eve. I'm not entirely sure, but I know we had dinner all together, and I think we played some games or watched some Christmas movie. We didn't have really big traditions. It was just a night with us four. And then on Christmas Day, I think we had dinner and the party at my family's house. So I'm not entirely sure if my brother was there or not, because my brother is my half brother. So we have different moms, same dad, so he's the son of my dad's first marriage. So yeah, I'm not sure if he was there or that he had to go to his mom. Maybe each year is different, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, we all went to my grandma's or aunt's house, and we spent Christmas there, where we opened the presents from the family and stuff. I don't think we waited until Christmas morning at home, because yeah, then we had to go to the family, so I don't know. So yeah, we spent Christmas there, and it was just the family, my grandma, granddad, auntie, uncle, then my other uncle, so my mom's brother. And when I was super little, my aunt didn't have children yet, because I'm 4 years older, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So until I was 4, I was an only child at the parties, and then my first nephew was born, and then another 4 years later, I think, or 3 years maybe, my second nephew was born. So the children, I'm not entirely sure if the brother of my grandma came then or not with his 2 children. I think they did, because yeah, I don't know. So I'm pretty sure there were some other kids there or not. Maybe I was the only one, I'm not sure. I do know I got big presents, because I saw a couple of pictures. I have a few pictures, because I'm not the biggest picture person, and when I was little I couldn't take them myself, but my family isn't the biggest picture person, so we don't have a lot of pictures. But I have a few that I'll insert on screen at some random points in this video. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of memories of Christmas then, but I do remember my last Christmas together with my uncle, so my mom's sister's husband. And I remember it because it was his last Christmas, and I remember that he was very sick, so he had cancer, leukemia, and he was very sick, but his last Christmas he was actually getting better, but he couldn't be around people for long because his immune system was totally failing, so he couldn't get sick. So I remember it because he was there for like a little bit, and then he went upstairs, so yeah, he wouldn't be in contact with people, so he wouldn't get sick. And that's one of the Christmases from when I was little. That's the last Christmas from when I was little I really remember. Yeah, because it was the last time we spent Christmas together, and I'm getting quite emotional. So fast forward to years later is when my parents got divorced. It's actually not years later, because they got separated before my uncle passed away, actually, so I don't know what I was saying. But when he passed away, they went together to the service, so I think that's why I am a little bit confused, I don't know. So when my parents were separated, I went with my mom to my family's house, still to my aunt's house. We still go there. And then I think I just spent it with my dad and my brother. but my brother stopped coming at the age of 16, so I think that's when I was 12. So then my brother didn't come to my dad anymore, so I didn't get to see him on Christmas. And I don't really have a lot of memories from that time because there's a lot of stuff that I want to forget, or there's a lot of stuff that I suppressed in my memories. I think there's nothing really bad happens, so don't freak out. It's just there are a lot of things that went through my mind then that I don't want to remember, and some bullying and stuff, so I don't really have a lot of memories from that period. So I'm not entirely sure how we celebrated it, but I think it's just the same as like we did before. We just ate, watched the movie and stuff, played some games, put on a tree. When I was really little, we had a real Christmas tree that we would get from a place nearby our house, and then at a certain point that was closed or bankrupt, and then we bought a fake tree, and then we continued having fake trees always. So yeah, that's one of the things. And then what else? A couple of years after that I didn't go to my dad anymore, so then we spent Christmas with my family like always, and then on Christmas Day I think, or on Christmas Eve, we went to my step family, and on Christmas, I'm not sure when, but one day we spent it with my aunt like we always do, and then the other day we went to see my step family because they always had a really big party with a lot of food, and it was one of the only times I got to see that entire family because yeah, I practically never see them. So fast forwarding to now, or 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years, I don't know. So I'm seeing my dad now for a couple of years again. So my first Christmas there was a little bit awkward because it's been a long time since I last saw them, and then first Christmas was a little bit weird, but everybody was super nice, and my dad has an awesome girlfriend. Yeah, it's not, they're not married, so it's not his wife, but it's weird to call grown-up people girlfriends, I don't know. But yeah, she's super nice, and her kids are way older than me. They're not like old, but they're like at the end of their 20s, so, or maybe even 30, I'm not sure. I don't want to offend anyone, but they're at the end of their 20s. I went alone, so that was the first year that I went alone, so I'm going there for the third year this time again. So then I didn't got to go to my aunt, I think, because no, that was last year. So last year there was a little bit of a mix-up between dates, so my dad and aunt did it on the same date, so I couldn't go to my aunt because I already said I was going to go to my dad's. So yeah, the year before that we didn't do it at my aunt's house. For one time we did it at the house of my grandma's brother, and that's the only time we've done it there, and I think he underestimated it because now it's back in her house. So she's a great host. I don't know how she pulls it off every year, but she does it. And this year we're with a really big group of people. I'll try to vlog, so you'll see there with how many people we are. So yeah, she's a great host. She's been doing it for a long time, so it's just normal that it's at her house. So yeah, the biggest changes are that I have a lot of families I need to go visit, and I don't get to see all my family because now the Steph family doesn't really have a party, so they're just coming together, not all of them, on Christmas Day. But then I'm going to my dad, so I'm probably not going to see them, or maybe we can go there quickly before we leave. I'm not really sure how I'll do it. And then my family on my dad's side, so not with his girlfriend and her family, but my dad's brother and sister and kids and stuff I haven't seen on Christmas in a really long time. So yeah, that was also one of the things when I was little and my parents were separated. We always went to his family and then we did the whole tour of all the houses. It's crazy how memories suddenly come back to you. But that family I haven't seen in a really long time, and I feel really bad about it because they've done nothing wrong to me, but I just don't get around to get there because they live so far. I don't have a car, I can't drive a car, or no, has his license but he doesn't have a car, so it's far with the train and we only get to a certain point with the train and we can't get to their house, so it's really complicated. But maybe I can try to find a date that my dad is going, that maybe I can go with him, so I get to see them again around the holiday season, because it's been a really long time since I last saw them all. A lot of them even have kids now that are like 3-4 years old or older, some of them that I never saw. Some of them have just had babies or are pregnant again, and I didn't see them since I was 15, I think, so it's been a long time, so I really need to see them. And then this year, like I said, we're going to my aunt's house, then to my dad's house, and yeah, I think that's how we spend Christmas. We don't do anything really special. This year I'm going to try to make some games up so we can play some games, especially with my dad's family, because last year there were a little bit of troubles because some people got a little bit bored and they started drinking and then some irritations come up. So this year I want to try to make some games so we can have fun instead of arguing over stupid things. So I also want to give some tips maybe for people who also have celiac disease. So I'm not sure if I said it in this intro. I can't remember it because I've done it 3 times now. I have celiac disease, so I have to eat gluten-free. For the last 2 years I know I have to eat gluten-free, really strict, and before that I tried to avoid as many gluten as I could, but now I know I have to avoid every single bit of gluten. So if you are a celiac or you can't stand gluten, there are a lot of people who are intolerant to gluten but who aren't celiac disease, or who haven't celiac disease. If you have any problem with gluten, let's say maybe you don't want to eat gluten just because you don't want to, that's fine too. Some tips I can give you is, if you go somewhere, let them know, even though they're your family and they should know, tell them anyway, because sometimes with all the craziness and all the preparations it can be easily forgotten that they have to prepare foods for someone who can't eat all the rest. So just let them know, just give them a friendly reminder that don't forget me, I can't eat that. But in my family, on my mom's side, we're with a couple of people who can't eat it, so it's less easy to forget. But yeah, like for the normal people there's still cake and stuff, so I really hope there's going to be something yummy for dessert for us, because that's also a thing if you go somewhere and people just give you something dry, because yeah, you can't eat the delicious things, but there's a lot of good gluten-free desserts. You just have to make an effort to find them or make them yourself. So if you host a party or you are going to a party, some of the things that you can do is offer to bring your own appetizers or dessert maybe, so you're sure that it's gluten-free. or if you're there to help the preparations, you can look and make your own things. So send some recipes to the people who are preparing the food, so they have a little bit of inspiration what they can make, because it's not easy for people to be creative all the time and to think of nice gluten-free things. There's a lot of gluten-free products if you know them, but if you're not shopping or looking for them daily, then you don't really get to see how many gluten-free things there actually are. So I don't really know if there's anything else that I want to say. I really hope this video kind of made sense and was a little bit of entertaining to watch, because I'm just talking here about my past and I think I'm rambling because I didn't really prepare for this video, so I don't really have a lot of facts. But you'll see in the vlogs how we celebrate Christmas a little bit. I'm going to try and to do my best to vlog, but you have to understand, my family members aren't all that keen on the YouTube thing, or they don't know what it is, or maybe they just don't want their face on the internet. So if they really don't want me to film something, I'm not going to do it. So maybe I can do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day in one vlog, maybe I can make two. It's all depending on how comfortable everybody is with me filming, because it's just also a nice memory to have looking back. Since I don't have pictures of my younger self, I really think it's going to be nice if I film everything so I can have it as a memory, because there's a lot you forget in your lifetime. So yeah, that's everything. Maybe I was meant to give you guys some tips. I don't know if anything I said made a little bit of sense for the celiacs, but yeah, just prepare. I think maybe now it's going to be a little bit late if you have to say now that you can't eat certain things. So be on time, and if they really forgot you or didn't think about it, it can happen, then just offer to bring your own appetizers or desserts, or a main course is a lot easier to make gluten-free than appetizers, because a lot of the pre-packaged things are super delicious but we can't have. So maybe just bring your own. I'm going to bring something I can eat just in case there isn't anything I can eat, so I can nibble on some stuff. So yeah, that's everything I have for you guys. I hope this video was a little bit of entertaining, that I didn't ramble or struggled too much with my words, because I don't remember if I said it in this video or not. I'm going to try to edit this as little as possible, so it's really real and just a nice cozy video, because everything this month has been planned out so much that I just wanted to do something spontaneous, and you get to know like a little bit of the real me. I talk a lot, you probably noticed this, but yeah, that was everything. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Maybe let me know in the comments what you guys do to celebrate Christmas. Maybe you have a total different way of celebrating it, or you celebrate it exact same as I, just switching through families. Maybe let me know, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.